areas beginning Friday night and lasting through late Sunday. While there are still uncertainties with the forecast, the timing and temperatures and the potential for snow and ice make this situation we are taking very seriously. So latest update on the weather, National Weather Service did a updated weather briefing at 1:30. Here's what we know now, and keep in mind what I just said, things can change. So starting about 6 p.m. Friday night, 6 to 9, we're looking at rainfall converting over to a wintry mix of snow and or ice, and lasting through Saturday and Sunday as well. Right now the prediction is 1 to 2 inches of snow and over at least equal to or over a quarter inch of ice. The temperatures will not rise above freezing till Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, which will complicate the forecast even more. Again, we will have another briefing with the Weather Service tomorrow and get an update on that, and I'm sure we'll have one Friday as well. Today's news conference is about planning and preparedness for our agencies, our communities, and our residents. I want to emphasize this will be a regional response. The City of Huntsville, the City of Madison, Madison County are working together and will be staffed around the clock throughout this event. The leaders in this room today represent Huntsville Hospital, Huntsville Utilities, law enforcement and fire, the airport, transit and road, the Chamber, EMA, and the National Weather Service. Behind these leaders are thousands of employees and first responders who will be working continuously to keep essential services operating and our community safe. You'll hear from Mayor Tommy Battle, representatives from Madison County and the City of Madison, and leaders from Public Works, Public Safety, Utilities, Healthcare, and Emergency Services. Each will outline what they are doing to plan and prepare, but just as important, we need all residents to do their part in preparing for this possible event as well. Preparedness starts before the first flake falls or the first patch of ice forms. The actions people take today and tomorrow can make significant difference over the weekend. With that, Mayor Tommy Battle.
Jeff, thank you, and thank you for all that EMA is doing to keep our communities safe. You know, you've heard the latest information about the weather system headed to Huntsville this weekend, and our purpose here today is to make certain our community is prepared, that we are prepared and our community is prepared. The City of Huntsville, Madison County, and the City of Madison are all of our partners today, and you will hear from both of them. Our partners include public works crews, police officers, firefighters, and emergency management team. Crews will be working around the clock to treat roadways, monitor conditions, and respond as issues arise. Public safety will remain our top priority. And it's very important to be clear, if any amount of ice forms, any movement on the road will be difficult and potentially dangerous. Communications will be crucial during this event, and we will continue to provide daily briefings every morning and afternoon from this EMA command center. All updates will be shared regularly through the city's website at huntsvilleal.gov and through the official social media channels. I also strongly encourage residents to sign up for the city alerts through the city's websites. These alerts provide real-time updates on road conditions and other critical information as the conditions change. This is a community effort. Please check on your neighbors, especially seniors and those who may need assistance. Be prepared and make plans now for these potentially dangerous days. If conditions worsen, we will tell you that. Our message is simple: be prepared, stay informed, and stay safe. Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Chairman Mac McCutcheon.
Well, thank you, Jeff, and EMA, Mayor Battle. I want to say that I ditto everything the mayor has said. This is a partnership of us working together, our local governments coming together to make sure that we take care of the public along with all of our needed entities in the county, such as our medical care and emergency responders and our law enforcement people. It's important that we work together and we stay vigilant in these times, that we are aware of the possibility of the bad weather that could come in. Snow was an event that we had the opportunity to address a few years ago, and we just got the snow event, and we were able to clear the roads a lot better when we just had the snow. But when we start talking about ice, Jeff, then that does concern us because it has an impact on how we can clear the roads. It also has an impact on our electricity, our power supply, and those kind of things, which makes it very dangerous for a lot of people in our community. So we encourage everybody, as the mayor said, please be vigilant, watch your neighbors, know what's around you, your surroundings, and then notify people and let them know. Because of the cooperation that we have with the cities, the county will be working alongside the cities to make sure that our roads are clear. On the events that we've had in the past, we take our equipment and we put it together. We make sure that we try to do the very best job we can with the challenges that we'll face on the roads to make sure they're clear. But even at that, there are times that sometimes we can be overwhelmed because we just are not equipped for the type of weather that we may have. I'm praying that it doesn't get that bad for us. In Madison County, we have about over 1,400 miles, road miles, just on county roads alone. Our commissioners are now in preparation. They have their equipment ready. They have their teams in place to get out on the roads and start working just as quickly as possible. As you know, you've heard things and reports in past weather events about the brine solution and trying to prepare the roads before we get the bad weather. When we have a rainy condition like we're facing in this particular forecast, a lot of times we can't utilize that chemical out there because it'll wash it away before the ice or the snow ever comes. So it causes us some problems. So we're asking everybody to be patient. And tomorrow at 12:30, we're going to have a support event of this event and have a press conference over in the commission, in the courthouse at the commission chambers to talk a little bit about the county and let each commissioner in each of their districts talk about what they're going to do, the facilities that will be open, the numbers that you can get in contact with if you need help. Because many times in the city locations we've got help that is not very far away, but when you start looking at the county as a whole, you're talking about several miles from something just as simple as a grocery store. And so we want to make sure that people's got the contact numbers they need, emergency shelters if needed. And so we'll be passing on more information from a county perspective tomorrow as we move forward. But just to reiterate what the mayor said, we're working in this together. We want to make sure that all of our bases are covered, and our volunteer fire departments will be out there in the county helping us with assistance for those who may need medical care and or transport type care. That's one of the issues that we faced the last event we had of trying to get people transported that needed help. And so we're going to focus on that as well. So thank you very much. Appreciate you being here to help the public be informed.
Mayor Renee Bartlett from the City of Madison.
Well, the City of Madison is also in preparation mode. Our public works and public safety departments will be ready whichever direction that this winter event turns. I also want to share that our County Commissioner, Steve Haraway, is in close communication and coordination with our Public Works Department to make sure the entire city is covered in whatever response we need to make. The emphasis of our message today is safety. We want to make sure that our residents are prepared for this event. We want you to stock up on groceries, on medicines. We want to make sure that you're prepared to stay home and stay off the roads. Thank you.
All right, got a couple that will come up now. Well, I've got Chris McMeese, Director of Public Works, and I'm also going to call up Seth Burkett from ALDOT.
we're all kind of in a holding pattern right now, trying to get more information for everybody. And once we get that information, more accurate information from our local meteorologists, we'll share that with you and get it to the citizens. But if there is one silver lining about this event coming this weekend, that it is happening over the weekend, and that we have a limited commuter volume of vehicles on the road, and hopefully that will ultimately result in lowering the possibility of having any injury or incident or risk of any kind of accidents happening with it not happening during the week. So that is one silver lining to be happy about. And something else to be happy about is to let you guys know that we have an administration that is very committed to allocating resources so that we can address winter events just like this. We were able to add to our fleet this year so that we can be better ready to respond to snow and ice events. You'll see a number of motor graders, dump trucks with plows and spreaders, and one-ton trucks with plows and spreaders, and many other vehicles out there to respond and work closely with first responders, that being HPD, fire, HIMSI, and so forth, to address any specific need during the weekend as it relates to this event. And you'll see a lot of material on the road, more than likely. We're going to be addressing a lot of our elevated roadways and our bridges. You'll see a lot of rock on the bridges and a lot of salt in our elevated roadways. We're going to be focusing a lot on the elevated portions of town, that being Green Mountain, Montesano, Cecil Ashburn, Mount Sharon on the north. We're going to be focusing on the places that have a higher percentage of this weather event impacting at the start, and then we'll address as needed, working with first responders. Well, we're not just working with our first responders, we're also working in this partnership that we have that Commission Chair McCutcheon mentioned earlier. It's an amazing partnership that we have, not only with them, but with our county commissioners as well. We work closely utilizing resources to make sure that we make sure that the roads and main corridors leading both into and out of the city are safe for travel. And not just the partnership with those that I mentioned, you also have a partnership with Huntsville Utilities. We have, I had a number of people reach out to me in the last couple of days talking about generators, and they were asking a lot of questions, and I reached out to Huntsville CEO Wes Kelly this morning and was asking him questions about the possibility of outages, and he mentioned something that we discussed, a topic that he is very passionate about. And at Huntsville Utilities, I tip my hat to them because they have aggressively maintained a program, and it's a tree trimming program that we talked about. There is some possibilities of ice accumulating on power lines, and they eventually break and fall, and that would cause some degree of an outage. But the majority of outages are caused mainly by ice accumulating on limbs over the power lines, and they have a tree trimming program that they've aggressively maintained and funded in the last couple of years, and $3 to $4 million per year that they've funded this program. So they're really vigilant on maintaining that program and making sure that they minimize any possibilities of valid outages due to falling limbs. And not just that, our partnership is extended to other departments within the city. We're going to have fleet here this weekend, as we'll have a staff here all weekend long, just making sure that we don't have any issues with our roadways, that we try to minimize any accumulation of ice or snow if it does fall. We'll have fleet here working with us, keeping our trucks on the roads if we have any kind of issues with our equipment. But last but not least, in this list of partnerships that we have, it would be you, our citizens. You guys are doing an amazing job working with us. Again, this is a weekend event, and it really falls to our advantage. So if we can stay home and stay safe, that would be the best place for you to be if you don't have to get out on the roads. It allows less vehicles on the road, more open space for us to treat and clear any accumulation of snow or ice if it falls. It allows that space for us to do our jobs and keeps you guys safe at home, and that we're not out taking a risk and driving on slick roads. And for now, I'll turn it over to Seth.
Hey, I'm Seth Burkett with the Alabama Department of Transportation North Region Office. I'm the communications coordinator, and we appreciate the city of Huntsville inviting us to participate in this press conference. We appreciate their attentiveness to this issue. We're in a situation, as Mr. McNeese stated, where it's kind of a holding pattern. We're watching the forecasts as they come in, as they change. They've been changing, and the news has been getting a little bit better. What we're seeing is a reduction in the amount of wintry precipitation that's forecast as this thing seems to be tracking more northward. But what we're not seeing is a good opportunity to get out and pre-treat routes. We've got rain in the forecast this week leading up to this event, and any time we get out and spray salt brine on roads and then it rains, it just washes it away. So anything more than just a trace amount of rain is putting any pre-treatment at risk of just being nullified, basically. So that is a concern of ours. We're watching these forecasts, looking to see if we might get an opportunity, a window where we can go in and sufficiently pre-treat and have it be effective for any wintry precipitation that we do get this coming weekend here. Just a couple of things I'd like to touch on. Yes, we are seeing some reduction in the amount of precipitation, but any amount of ice is pretty dangerous, and certainly a quarter inch could be very hazardous. We'd like to encourage people to stay off the roads if possible, if you see those kind of conditions developing. You have to watch out for yourself and stay informed, as the mayor stated, and try to be prepared. If we do see bad conditions develop, try to remain off the roads as much as possible, except for in case of emergencies. And in that situation, our main goal is going to be to try to keep routes open as much as we can for emergency travel, not just for any travel. So our main goal is going to be emergency travel, and we'd like to be able to see first responders get where they need to be, ALDOT crews be able to get around and work out there. Anybody that gets on the roads is potentially going to add to the problems that we have out there. Cars getting stuck, crashes, things like that, and create more work for those first responders that are out there. As we stated, it's just an evolving thing that we're watching. We're going to see what the changes to the forecast, what any further changes to the forecast bring, and whether that allows us a good opportunity to try to do something ahead of this. If not, it's going to be more of a reactive operation. We do have crews and equipment ready to respond to any wintry precipitation and any snow or ice accumulations that we do get. Anything?
All right, we'll move now to Deputy Chief Michael Johnson from Huntsville Police Department.
Deputy Chief Johnson with Huntsville Police, as he said, just want to, some of the things I want to say is a repetitive of what they said, but two things the police department is going to be taking care of, that's traffic safety and informing the public. We will have a shift commander at EMA, or the ability to get to EMA every shift around the clock, so we can give those formal updates. The first thing with traffic safety, we will be working with Chris Monique's Public Works employees and pre-staging barricades beginning tomorrow. You will see those barricades at various areas along major arterial roads. They are there in a staged position so that they can be moved quickly if we need to close a road. As I said, when you see these barricades that are staged, please report to us if you see one that has fallen off in the roadway. We have found that to be an issue in the past. But once you see them in place, we need you to not travel down those roadways. And that's going to get into my next point is, as luck would have it in the South, it does not take a large amount of precipitation like this for this to be dangerous. Like they said, it's just a small amount of ice. And as luck would have it also with this storm, it's going to be happening overnight. Typically with us, we see as night comes around, people are traveling, there is less traffic, but as soon as they hit an overpass that's slick, they have an accident. We get the call, we respond, and the next thing we know, we have vehicles that are having accidents across the city on these overpasses. So we want the public to understand that sometimes we will have to be reactionary. If you see a roadway that is dangerous, or you almost had a near accident, please call us and notify us so we can have officers go to that area. There's going to be a lot of officers in the city that are patrolling and looking for these areas, and we can proactively close a road, but as luck would have it overnight, sometimes accidents will happen, so be careful in your travels with that. As far as informing the public, please stay in tune with our social media pages as well as the City of Huntsville website. As the mayor said, you can go on that website. There's a city alerts system you can sign up for. We are actively putting out that information in real time. You can get that in a text or an email when a road is closed or when it's open. Please pay attention to when they're open. Our 911 centers do get flooded with calls with whether a road is closed or a road is open. If you sign up for those city alerts, you will get that information instantaneously.
Madison County Sheriff Kevin Turner.
Thank you guys for being here today. As you can see, we've all been down this path before in the past with monitoring storms and timelines as they come through Madison County and the city of Huntsville. But that's what this team behind us is set up for. All the different mayors, all the different law enforcement, and Aldot and Chris, we're all here to serve this community and serve the people that live here in the city of Huntsville and Madison County. That's why we're all here. As the sheriff, we talk about the streets and the roads out in the county. As you all know, the further out in the county you go, those roads that are off the beaten path are going to really, really be hazardous. So we're going to really have deputies on deck, so it's going to be business as usual when it comes to monitoring and having public safety in Madison County. So we may even have more deputies than usual out working to monitor the roads and just trying to figure out where the bad and hazardous roads are. As Deputy Chief said, if you see roadblocks, if you see things that have been put up in place, please just listen to what we're doing, because there is a hazard out there. And the most important thing is being smart and communicating with not only your law enforcement, but communicating with your public works and making sure that they know that if there's a bad area out there that we do not know about. But, more so than this partnership that we have right out here, myself and my staff tomorrow, we're going to be reaching out to the chiefs of New Hope, to Owens Crossroads, to Triana, all these little jurisdictions that live out there that have their own mayors. We're going to reach out to them to make sure that they're took care of and to make sure that they have all the help and need that they have. So, just know that we're all here for you. Public safety is not going to stop just because a weekend event goes through. We're here to serve you, and we're here to take your calls. So please, if anything happens, anything goes on, y'all reach out, and we will take care of you. Thank you.
And now we'll go to Police Chief Gandy from City of Madison.
Good afternoon. Just want to assure everybody in the city of Madison that our command staff met earlier today to ensure that we have proper staffing, that we're ready for any type of event that happens. We do have a number of contingency plans in place. We're working with our other public safety partners and city partners as we go forward. I do want to reiterate what's already been said. If you do not have to be out, do not go out, please. Please stay home. Do not get on the roads. The roads are going to be treacherous. Again, if we have, same thing, we have barricades that are going to be set out for roads that historically have been especially dangerous that will end up closing. If you see those barricades, do not move them, do not drive around them. Those people out there that may have an emergency in their house, please know that there may be an extended time before we can get to you. Our officers have to drive safely in order to get there. They're not doing anybody any good if we drive at our normal speeds and we end up having a crash ourselves. So please be patient with us. Those lower priority calls, we will have officers probably calling people or even going through email in order to take those cases, because we'd like our officers available for just more higher priority calls. If you come to a controlled intersection, should we lose power, a normally controlled intersection, a traffic light, something like that, please treat it as a four-way stop before going through that intersection. We may not have officers available to direct traffic at each of those things. But again, I want to reiterate, if you do not have to be out in this, please do not go out on the roads. It just makes our jobs more dangerous, and you're putting yourself in jeopardy. Thank you.
All right, now we'll go to Huntsville Hospital CEO, Jeff Sams.
Thank you, Jeff. The hospital implemented our inclement weather protocols yesterday. Those are designed to ensure we have adequate staff, supplies to support our staff if you need them in time of emergency. Just want to assure everyone we've done that many times, and we started that process yesterday. Similarly, at HIMSI, they go through a similar process to make sure their equipment that they need to move the units around if there's ice or snow is ready to go. So all those protocols have been done, testing our generators and making sure we're prepared if the community might need us, and our wonderful staff are there for you. Second, if you have a scheduled procedure or need an update on our elective schedules, those are on the hospital website. We try to keep that constantly maintained. We'll also push that out by social media to make sure people know if you're scheduled next week and have a question, if something is open, that's the place to go look for it. Again, just wanted to assure everybody that we've done all our normal things and we're ready to go if you need us in time of emergency. Thank you very much.
And now we'll go to Huntsville Utilities COO, Chris Jones.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, like everyone else, we're watching the weather closely. We've implemented our emergency planning as well, making sure our system is in normal configurations. We'll be ready for the cold weather, and then any inclement weather, having staffing in place to work around the clock as needed. We've been in contact with our contractors, both on the tree trimming side and the line work side, should we need to scale up those resources. We will have some equipment staged in hard-to-access areas, Green Mountain, Keel Mountain, Montesano, maybe some others in preparation. And then we'll just continue to watch the weather. For us, snow and sleet, that creates road conditions, and people can slide and hit poles. So as everyone else said, please stay off the road. Those conditions don't, in general, create electric outages. Freezing rain is what we get really concerned about, as Chris McNeese mentioned. You get freezing rain on the power lines, you get freezing rain on the trees, especially over 1/4 of an inch, and that can create widespread outages and long restorations. So we'll be hoping for a minimal amount of ice and actually a minimum amount of winter weather. But we're prepared, and we'll be ready to respond to whatever situation develops. Thank you.
All right, as we wrap up, I want to leave the residents with one clear message. We are ready, but we need everyone to do their part. Our cities and county, along with public works crews, police, fire, utilities, healthcare providers, and emergency responders will be out working throughout this event. Crews will be out in difficult conditions, often overnight, doing everything they can to protect lives and maintain essential services. We've already received calls asking for help salt private driveways and deliver medications. We understand these concerns, and we care deeply about our residents. However, during an event like this, our focus must remain on major roadways, utilities, emergency response, and community-wide public safety. The best way residents can help is by planning ahead. Get your supplies and groceries now to last several days at home. Stay off the roads if conditions worsen. Follow official updates. Check in with your elderly neighbors and family members who may need assistance. Please bring your pets in. If this storm develops as forecasted, we will hold briefings twice a day from this room at 9 and 3. The briefings will be broadcast live on City TV, so the public will have timely, accurate information. The city has activated a winter weather alerts webpage and will also communicate through social media. So we've heard a lot of people speak. but there are a whole lot of effort, as we see out in this room, and I just want to say there's more responders here and elected officials than what you see up here. You've got Don Webster from HIMSI here. I think I see Dr. Jenny Robinson in the back, Huntsville City Council. You've got Randy Williams, Fire Chief, City of Madison, Chief McFarland from Huntsville, excuse me, Huntsville Fire Department, Keisha Bryant from Public Transit. I see John Hamilton, City Administrator, Scott Irwin from Community Development is here, James Gossick, Parks and Rec. So there's a whole lot more here than what you see here. So at this point, we're going to open it up for questions. We'll allow one question and a follow-up. So I'll open it up.
For police, what is the protocol if someone does move a barricade and starts driving down the road they all block off?
The answer to that is you'll get a ticket. So we will enforce the traffic laws when it comes to the barricade. So be it known that when you go across or around a barricade, you're, like Chief Gandy said, you're kind of putting us in jeopardy in case you get stuck. But a lot of insurances won't take care of your vehicle if you have a wreck. So along with a ticket, you may, if you have a wreck, you may have some issues there. So does that answer the question?
Are any of the city leaders from either Madison or Huntsville, will y'all be working with any local groups like the Rocket City Wranglers trying to coordinate? Even the hospital, I know that they are doing a lot, and they've done a lot in the past few years.
I have not spoken to Rocket City Wranglers today, but every time we've had one of these events, they've been absolutely amazing. I'm getting a nod from Tracy Doty in the back. He has talked to Rocket City Wranglers, and they're absolutely wonderful volunteers in the community that just come out to help their neighbors. So mad respect for that group of people, and we'll be ready to get you home if you need to. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
And my follow-up is they usually take medical workers to and from the hospital, correct?
They do, and we provide some sleeping accommodations for our staff. If they want to come in ahead of time, we try to give them a place to sleep so they can, if they need to come in before their shift, we put a lot of those folks in the medical mall, and the Wranglers also drive people back and forth. So we've rehearsed it many times, try to make sure people can get to work and hopefully get home. And to any of our staff that are listening, those of you who spend the night or go out of your way to work extra to take care of your neighbors, we appreciate you so much.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
So, in the event of a lot of people needing maybe medical help such as dialysis if there are power outages, how do you plan to handle that influx of people needing to get emergency help?
Well, I'm going to turn that one over to so, Don, you want to come up here and repeat that because I don't think it went through. Repeat that. That way it goes out.
Just to let you know, we're working with all the dialysis centers here in Huntsville, Madison, and Madison County, and we're working with all of them to adjust the schedules of the patients to go with the inclement weather, and so they're moving their schedules so they can all be dialyzed in a reasonable amount of time. That it? Good.
Any other questions?
You guys are talking a lot about everyone's working very close together. Do you feel like everyone is more prepared this year than previous years for this kind of scenario?
Well, I'll offer my opinion. I think we are. But keep in mind, the last event we had was mainly snow. I think we did pretty well with those challenges, but I think it was the chairman and a lot of here have said we're looking at possibility of ice. That's a new ball game right there. So you know, we're going to work together. We're going to do the best we can. But, you know, the reality is there's a possibility in some of the higher elevations that, you know, you may need something, and we can't get help there immediately like what we would in normal circumstances.
You guys mentioned earlier about potential rain that may wash away any pre-treatment. If that does happen, what happens then in terms of your recovery plans? Getting more treatment on the roads, or how does that work?
That was in reference to why pre-treatment operations are on hold for now. It's raining right now, or it was when I came in. We're anticipated to have, you know, about a half inch, 3/4 of an inch, something like that over the next 24 hours or so. If we were out there pre-treating this morning, that would all be gone come Friday. So that's just, you know, that's something we deal with every one of these events. I'd say probably nearly half of the winter weather events we have some level of pre-treatment being limited by rain that precedes the event. So it's not uncommon. We just aren't able to pre-treat at this time, and we may not be able to pre-treat most of the pavements leading up to this event. What we will prioritize is getting some pre-treatment on bridges going into the event, which can be handled, you know, in a shorter window of time. And if we do see a window of opportunity that allows us to treat routes, we will start working through those in our, you know, according to our priorities, which generally starts with interstates, moves to 4-lane routes. And everywhere in this area, I know, like, we're in Huntsville right now, and Huntsville has its own district that will be handling those pre-treatment operations, or Madison County is covered by one ALDOT district. But other counties in North Alabama are in kind of a similar situation. We're in sort of a waiting and see mode all across North Alabama. Some areas may get more of a window for pre-treatment operations going into the winter weather, and maybe we might be able to treat those roads in those areas, but not in others where we may have rainfall right up until it switches over to the winter precipitation.